some people had asked me to walk down the beach, and I usually can't do it because there are police patrolling the beach, but usually in the morning there's not, so I'm going to try. Good morning. I haven't walked down the beach in all the way down the beach. It's a mile. I haven't walked all the way down the beach in I think a couple weeks because I was sick, and before that I was kind of avoiding it because I was already trying to social distance before it hit here. The social distancing has just started here a little over a week ago. But I started exploring social distancing on my own when America started social distancing. So anyway, I didn't walk down the beach because at the end of the beach, there's a beach called the Love Beach. There's little coves. So if you see to the right here, there's a little cove. This is the little barricade that says don't come up here because we're under quarantine. A lot of people like to come up here and see the meditation point. This is a little cove. These little coves at either end of the beach, gay people have taken for their own, for gay people purposes, which if you're gay, you can imagine what that is. But the other one is larger, and it's called the Playa de Amor. It's the Love Beach. It's a very nice place to see the sunset, whereas this is a very nice place to see the sunrise. But the humidity here has gotten quite intense, so the sunrise has not been very clear. And if any of you have watched or are interested in watching the time lapse I made yesterday morning, you can see there's tons of humidity just clinging to the beach. I've never lived by the beach, so this is all a very new experience for me. And one of the interesting things about this is you see this sand cliff right here. All of those rocks were buried in the sand. So that little divot that you can see right here, I used to walk through that 6 weeks ago when I got here. And the sand has eroded this much. I'm going to walk up here, past some beach dogs. Hi, beach dogs. And birds. Wow, check that out. This is looking back up there. Where is it? Yeah, that's where I'm staying, right there. House. And again, most of the beach hotels are pretty closed. Yeah, I always used to walk on the other side of it, but at this point the waves are kind of intense and can smash you against the rocks, so I just walk up here. And actually I usually walk around this rock, but I'm gonna try to take you this way. I haven't walked this way actually in quite a while, just because look how intense this cliff is. All of this was sand. How these rocks are exposed now. Look at that cool mountainy hotel thing. This rock here was completely covered with sand when I arrived. I could not see it at all. So again, for people who have lived by beaches, this may be a very normal thing that the beach radically changes shape. Some people here who have lived here for a long time have mentioned that, oh yeah, the beach is always changing shape. And as you can see, although the water's out there right now, it's pretty low tide because sunrise, sunset, or sunrise, moonset, but the high tide right now is all the way up here. You can see the line. Now, you can see that big wave cresting out there, and then crashing out there. So that place where the wave is crashing out there is kind of the edge of a sandbar. This area, it's sometimes a little deep, right where the water starts, and they're just a little deep. Sometimes you can't touch the ground, it depends on the tide. But then there's a shallow area that you can walk out quite a ways. But I've never walked out to the edge of the shallow area because there are intense tides that can sweep you out into the ocean. So I do go out onto the shallow sandbar, but not deep, not far. Hotels, morning joggers. Good morning, Lloyd. So as you see, we're approaching a flag. The flags, have a color-coded system to tell you if it's safe or dangerous. The flags here are always red. It is always dangerous to swim here. And there are lots of lifeguards, but obviously not right now in this time. Good morning, Dan. Beach dogs. People walking. This is a nice place on the beach to sit and do nothing. This is a lifeguard station and a surfboard rental place and a dog guarding the beach. Hola perro, buenos días. No peligrar ni nada, playa cerrada, danger, no swim, beach closed. So yeah, they put up the beach closed signs when there is no lifeguard out. And of course people, as you see that person in the water right now, people will swim anyway. But the police that are patrolling the beach sometimes will tell people to not swim when the lifeguards aren't out, because they don't want the death numbers. It's all about the death numbers these days. I guess it has been for a long time. It's not something I've paid attention to. They want the death numbers to stay low, to attract tourism. Again, this beach town has had a history of being a place where you go to be naked, go to be free. The water isn't super friendly, so it keeps away huge tourist hordes. And some of the locals, well, there was only one family living here 40 years ago when the Americans came and started setting up tourism. A lot more Mexicans have moved here, just like a lot of Canadians and Italians. There's not as many Americans here, though. Much more Canadians and Italians. But the people who are living here now that are more Mexican are pushing to have it not be a nude beach and have it not be a place people associate with sex and drugs, because they want more tourism money, which makes sense because, hey, everybody wants more money. But that, of course, would not be what it is. This is in Oaxaca on the Pacific coast. Scusi, Antonio. Se sarebbe parla italiano bene, I don't even know how to say I could, really. Ma non parli abbastanza per parole belle cerca questa spiaggia. So this is an opening here. I'll avoid showing you the Canadian condos. This is an opening here where there's some little goals where kids play football often. And if you look down here, this area is like a mangrove swamp that actually seems to have water in it all year. There's often those white herrings in it. You can kind of see the white heron there. Sometimes there's tons of them in there. I haven't seen a lot of lizards in there, but oh, dog. Hi, dog. So most of these places we're walking by up until a few weeks ago had lots of tables and chairs out, and it was very nice to sit on the beach and eat dinner and watch the sunset, obviously. And some of them are very good. They're good food. Look at the waves crashing. Anyway, I think at this point all of the beach restaurants have closed. There's only a few restaurants open in town. Thank you, Skip. I appreciate you saying so, and I'm very glad you're appreciating them. I'm happy to share some of this other world with people who are in other worlds. I didn't stay here, but it looks really cute, right? You can camp underneath these shade awnings, and then there's little huts on stilts. They do get hurricanes here. Again, the house I'm staying under is a hurricane house. It's destroyed by a hurricane shortly after being finished. Wow. There's this cool effect happening here that, again, I hadn't seen a lot of. Good morning, Bobby. I had not seen a lot of this because I've never lived by a place that I can stare at the ocean every day, whenever I want. That often you can see the waves coming towards the shore, and then they kind of bounce off the shore and head back and crash with the waves coming in. Which is pretty fantastic to me. I didn't know that that was something that happened on the beach. A zipper of waves. I'm very glad to hear that, Eric. Am I talking too much? Would you guys rather me just be quiet for a while? I'm sorry, it's so shaky. I don't have a gimbal. Because a great deal of my Facebook friends and followers are gay, you may appreciate this. This graffiti here looks pretty bearish. It's a little guy with a belly and a big ginger beard playing a squid saxophone, carrying a conch backpack home on his back. But this is a gay bar. Again, I don't go out at night, and haven't been drinking alcohol for years. But this is a gay bar that has a bear flag, a trans flag, and 2 rainbow flags. And it apparently only opens after midnight, and it only opens when the person wants to open it. But as you see, it's a very just like beach shack kind of place. Club Demetria. You can hashtag that. I'm not going to. And this is like a queer-friendly hostel place. And Loma Linda here is where a lot of people come for tantra retreats and yoga retreats. There's some more red flags for you. Oh, good. Thank you. Buongiorno, Armando. And yes, somebody just sent me a private message asking if I was naked. And yes, I am naked. I'm walking down the beach naked. This is in Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca. On the southern coast of Mexico. This is the Pacific Ocean we are looking at. Thank you, Frank. This is the Hotel Neptuno, which has recently chosen to be a naked gay hotel. Most of these hotels, I guess starting with the first woman who started tourism here, she was a hippie and all of her friends were hippies, which is why this is a nude beach. But she herself was a little bit of a prude, it has been described. She doesn't like to see people having sex. She doesn't like to see people naked around her place. So she started this tradition of the hotels being clothed. You have to put on clothes to go into the hotel. Started with her hotel, and she still holds that. But some of the hotels are now, advertising that you can be naked inside the hotel. And like those people I met on the street yesterday, if you watched the video of me walking through town, they are building a place that's big, beautiful yoga shala for yoga retreats, meditation retreats, but more aiming at performance arts, contact improv, stuff like that. And they advertise that their space is naked. You can be naked in there. They encourage you to be naked. And those waves are pretty fierce. There are a lot of surfers here. It's been pretty amazing to me that even in the lockdown, when the beach is closed, I've seen, 12 surfers out in the waves. And even though this beach is famous for killing people, apparently I saw at one point 50 people died a year here. And it's way lower now. They've had a couple years with no death at all, which has been nice. Look, the dog is eating some kind of washed up sea creature. Fish something. Yeah, a dog is eating some washed up fish. Okay, so we're walking into the haze, which I was wondering what this is going to be like. There is a kind of smell in the air, although I don't notice it as much now. Yeah, so there are a couple hotels here, although one of them is not even particularly local. I think it started in Cancun, that advertise that you can be nude inside of it, and it's called Hotel Nude. And this place, I almost stayed here. I looked into staying here. It's called Cafe Maya, which means delusion in Pali. But a lot of people think it's a nice sounding word. Maya means delusion. I saw some pictures of it on Wikipedia, and it looked totally different. So I assume that the hurricanes just totally wreck everything that can be picked up and spun around. Wow, it is so humid over here. This is amazing. It's like walking into a wet blanket or something. You can kind of see here, this is the Zocalo, even though it's not fair to say no one lives around here, but it's a big open square. There was a big carnival, like a traveling festival with rides and games and stuff parked here 3 weeks ago, something like that. But it gives you a better impression. I just moved to get that guy's privacy. It gives you a better impression of the open bowl of the mountain range here that sweeps around to where it sticks out into the water here. Yeah, the waves look very tall today, but the beach is also being stripped away. So. I'm very happy I haven't seen the police yet. That's nice. Good morning, Olga. I was hoping you would see this because you had asked for it. Yes, John. I miss many things. I miss friends and family and snack food. That's something funny I've noticed in recent travels. Good morning, Ran. In recent travels that I've been on the last few years, that I miss the food that I'm accustomed to getting, which I don't know if I ever noticed that when I was younger, when I traveled. I think it has to do with living in New York City, because in New York City, I lived there for 10 years, and having access to just like all of the whole range of healthy food and junk food and all the cuisines of the world, that's what I miss when I leave. And I'm somebody who's okay with just eating tacos every day, or curry, or noodles, or whatever. In the places I've been, I mostly eat fruit right now in the mornings, and then have one meal in the evening. And like everywhere in the world, there's burgers and pizza here. I don't know if any of you have traveled much, but if you go to the farthest reaches of the world, the smallest towns in the middle of the Balkans, you will find places serving burgers and pizza. So it's a curse and a blessing. They're not at all like American food or Italian food, but they reminisce the nostalgia of home, or the idea of home. But yeah, I do sometimes miss riding my bike through New York City. I miss just getting together with people I like. I miss giving massages, because I love touching people and I love making them feel good. I mentioned this yesterday, that I get such ego gratification off of giving a massage, because anybody I work on, they can be stressed out or unhappy or whatever, and I get to watch them transform into blissed out and peaceful and relaxed, and all of that, despite most of them telling me that, oh my God, that was the best massage I ever had, just makes me feel amazing, that I have that ability, not to mention just enjoying the beauty of different people's bodies, appreciating them, enjoying them, and just that human contact that doesn't have anything to do with words or technology. I love giving massage. So I miss giving massage. I miss doing yoga with my friends, but I'm very happy I've been doing Qigong every morning with these two guys who showed up. So this is the end of the beach, end of the main beach, but I'm gonna walk you over the hill. You can see some stairs there in this little house on the hill. Again, I haven't been down here for like 2 or 3 weeks. Wow, the water's come all the way up here. And this is, I guess, a mangrove swamp, so Probably in the wet season, this is all swamp all the way up to the sea. Bienvenidos, no tires basura en la playa. Abstenerse de tener relaciones sexuales en la playa. Hi, John. I have tried to learn how to say thank you and sorry in every country I've ever been to. I don't remember all of them. I've only ever studied Spanish and Italian. Well, a little bit of German, actually. I was very enamored with German for a while. I am not somebody that language comes easily to me, so I don't really speak it well. This is the Playa de Amor. As you see, the beach is almost entirely covered with water right now. There's this path here going up the hill, and in the middle, focusing on my hand, in the middle there's a cliff that I sat on and did some meditations and some views. It's really gorgeous. And instead of going down, actually, do you guys want me to go down? You can let me know, but otherwise I think I'm gonna go up because it's just a much better view. There aren't stairs, of course, so you can watch me going up this crazy worn away path. But I love the view from up here. Breathing. Oh, wow. Sunrise. That's pretty. So the Playa de Amor stays in shade for quite a while, which is, I used to come here when I first arrived in the morning to do my practices because I just really couldn't take any sun. And I spent a couple weeks slowly acclimating to tan, to sun protection. So you see the sun is over there, and this is the Playa de Amor Cove. Look at this cliff. Vertigo moment here. Ooh. My feet. Oh, be careful. There's nobody on the Playa de Amor this morning. There it is. A whole beach from the other direction. Again, where's my hand here? I'm staying right here. There's the white rock. There's the beach. And then there's this beautiful cove, which some people swim in, but it's obviously a bit more dangerous. There's a lot more rocks in there, a lot of urchins, and I guess crabs and shrimp. See Mexican men swimming around with inner tubes and nets, and they're harvesting something from the sea. Again, when I got here, you see this water coming around here. When I arrived, the water just stopped, like right there. And as the beach has been getting worn away, the water is flowing all the way through around this rock. That's a good message. Everything is always changing. Everything is always changing. Iran. You live in a beautiful place. I'm very, very fortunate to have shared some of the beauty of where you live with you. And of course, I'm always very grateful to be able to share any of the beauty of anywhere I am with you. Can any of you hear the roosters crowing over the noise of the beach? Doing all this barefoot. Me encanta, John. Me encanta. That's how you'd say it in Mexican or Spanish. I love your adventures. I don't really know how to say adventures. Me encanta tus aventuras. Tal vez. Moment of quiet, sheltered from the sound of the waves. A lot of people, I've noticed this and other people have commented on it, when they walk the beach for exercise purpose, they like the feeling of having achieved something. This is a psychological trope well known at this point. All these games on the phone and all the learning apps and everything have been set up in such a way to make you feel like you've achieved something. Dopamine rush. So when people are walking the beach for exercise, they always touch the rocks when they get to the end. Like, look, I've completed one lap of the beach. That beautiful white bird standing on the rock and the little black bird. I wish I could zoom in. Hi, birds. Those of you who might get a kick out of it. Eric, I agree with you. However, seeing that this is mostly the walking I've been doing for the last 2 months, I've been very careful not to walk on this area all the time. And I actually don't walk on it most of the time, even though the ground is firmer. And you're connecting with the sea, so it's very electrically grounding. However, it's slanted. So it's constantly unbalancing the hips, which is unbalancing the skeleton, the whole spine and the shoulders. And again, because this is mostly how I'm walking and where I'm walking, that's why I walk further up the beach to walk on a flat area where my hips can be balanced. And then I also play with full ankle rotations of muscle movement in the softer sand. The first night, I wrote about this, but I don't even know if I published it anywhere. But the first night I arrived here, I guess I got here at sunset, got into my room, put everything away. Yeah, Gary, I think that people in the cities, it's very important to stay inside in a certain way, because we're so socially around everybody. It's very hard to get away from people when you're in a city. Being out in a place like this, or it's just a more relaxed Mexican culture thing, they don't... actually, that's not true. They are starting to just tell everybody to stay at home. So that is starting to hit here. But... and they have started closing the beach. The beach is officially closed. So we're allowed to walk it in the morning, those of us that live here, or those of us that are right on the beach. But they do not want any tourists coming down here. So they're making a big show of sweeping everybody off the beach and then taking pictures of the empty beaches. And we assume they're sending these pictures to their bosses or to newspapers or something, so that they can show all the beaches in Mexico are empty. But what I've noticed is that they tend to be relaxed in the morning to allow people to exercise so they don't go crazy. Yeah. No, I think, Gary, everywhere in the world has closed the beaches now. Everywhere the beaches are officially closed. And I think that's rather insane myself, but then I think a lot of this response is insane. But then I think a lot of culture is totally insane, so it's an accord. It's fine. But I'm sorry that you are trapped inside, and I'm glad that I can give you this little window. And as I said, I haven't walked the full length of the beach in many weeks. The last 2 times I've tried, I have been stopped by police and told to turn around and go back. So this is the first time that I walked it early in the morning, because usually, yeah, I'm aware of that, Eric, but beaches tend to have a lot of moving air and ventilation and plenty of space. No, but if the beaches weren't closed, people would be gathering on the beaches like people were gathering in the parks in New York City. Again, it's healthy for people to be outside and get some sun and fresh air. But if they sit together like friends, like humans like to do, and they're all just sitting together and talking, then they're spreading this virus around, and there's a percent that 1% of those people is going to end up dying from it. So keep the death numbers down. You can see some of the light on these buildings from this perspective. I always love walking back somewhere as a very different experience. When I was younger, I followed some traveler's adage I read that you should never go back the same way you came. And I still pay attention to that feeling. if I have an option. But I've also come to respect that walking back the same path is very different than walking out that path, because you're seeing the other side of things. Simple as that. And of course, every time of day you walk through a place, the light's different, the people are different, the feeling's different. Gary, I'm in Mexico, the southern coast of Mexico, in the state of Oaxaca. Gary, I've never been to Australia. I've always thought that it's far enough away from where my usual orbit is, which is the United States and even Western Europe, more the United States though, that I thought, well, when I go to Australia, I'm going to at least spend a month there. Of course, over the years, it's grown to, well, I'm going to at least spend 3 months there. And last year when I was in Southeast Asia, I felt like I was close enough that I was just going to go to Australia after Southeast Asia, but that is not what ended up happening. It's very nice. Wow, right? Wow. It's so nice to love and appreciate where you live. I'm just doing this to, as I pass a naked person, to not get in trouble on Facebook or violate their privacy. Sale bien. Thank you, Gary. Sleep well. It's so nice you get to watch the sunrise right before you go to bed. Well, Michael, until you can go to the beach, I hope this is at least somewhat nourishing for beachiness. I don't know, in New York City, a friend of mine, when the lockdown first happened, he would bike out to the beach to post pictures of the empty beach. I don't know if he's still doing that or if he's still allowed to do that. I think so. Sunrise. Palm tree. Humidity. Waves. Good morning, Sebastian. I love you. You're very welcome, Chris. I'm very, very happy to share. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Roger. And just as a little plug, if any of you are still employed and making money, I am not and won't be able to for a while. So if you want to send me a couple bucks, that'd be great. Follow the link. There's like 7 or 8 different ways you can send me some money for free. This broadcast has been brought to you by generous donors like you. Take some time to follow the donation link and give some money to the organization Dominant Vine of the Owls, whichever your favorite digital transfer means are. Thank you, Eric. Have a good day. I hope all of you have plenty of peace in your day and in your sleep. I hope all of you can access the calm and openness from your rooms or whatever else you're doing. Thank you for all of you for your kind care and attention towards keeping yourself calm and positive during this time. Are you going to get fruit? Marco, are you coming back there? It's one of the people I do Qigong with. Pretty dogs. For you dog people, check out beach dogs. Hi, beach dogs. Hi, beach dogs. Hi, beach dogs. Hi, beach dogs. She's like, do you have food? Are you gonna give me food? Do you wanna pet me? Which is what all dogs are saying all the time. Dogs peeing on the beach, dogs barking. Sand cliffs. There's a jogger who just stopped to pet a dog. They were barking at him and said, "We love you, please stop and pet us." So he did. Now they're jogging with him. Happy wagging tongue dogs. Trotting dogs. Happy barking dogs. Bird just dropped something. Thank you, Bruce. So you'll see the white rock to the left, and then that little island to the right of it. We are approaching the viewpoint where you can see through it. As one of those amazing seaside structures reveal. Mexican hairless. Hi, Mexican hairless. Hi, Mexican hairless. I forget their name. The Mexican hairless dogs. Yeah, so where that man is sitting on the rock is a perfect place to watch the water thunder through this cave, which I will show you in a moment as I approach it. You'll see the hurricane house up on the hill and the jogger running back through the hole. Tall men stretching. Somebody just sent me a donation. Thank you. look at this wall of sand. It's pretty. I'm going to put my phone away and get my water so that I can teach without having a dry throat. I definitely need water after talking for a half hour or however long this video has been. This is Shambhala. I'm down here. That building is a house you can rent out from Shambhala. That's a restaurant that's open in the high season. And that hurricane house to the left is where I'm staying. I have to wrap this around my waist for a moment to be respectful. Oops. Hi. I had to wrap that around my waist to be respectful of the sign right here that says, let's see, there's the massage sign. This guy's only given a massage once since I've been here, or that I've seen. There's some ohms. Nudismo solo en la playa. Returning back to my little room where I will plug my phone in and get my water bottle and go down and do Qigong. Ooh, it is kind of late. Look at that. Thank you, everybody. Good morning to you from wherever you are in the world. May you have a peaceful, loving, positive day. Do something good. Love you. Mwah.